Sheriff Barrett, would you like to introduce your proposal?
What I have here is another briefing regarding, in this particular case, a realignment of the salary of the sheriff, but also included in there is the other elected officers, the assessor, the auditor, the clerk, the coroner, and the treasurer. And the proposal, after doing research throughout the area, I came across, and it's included in your packet, a Kitsap County resolution in which they use the Washington State Citizens Commission on Salaries, and they applied a variable percentage of that to their elected officials to come up with reasonable compensation for the elected officials within their county. It could be argued that if you look at Grays Harbor's analysis as well, they did something similar, but they did it in absence of the State Salary Commission. I believe that if you look at that Kitsap County resolution, and I've stated that in my briefing, that it essentially takes away any personality issues, any prejudices, any biases, or anything on anybody's behalf, and it puts it on a commission that's already done its research relative to the various positions. And they recognize each of those electeds slightly different based on that percentage. In my particular case, in doing the work, I did not apply any percentage formulas to the other elected officials. I believe that's for them to look at their relative overview of their offices against their comparables. But in a particular case of the sheriff, I looked at a 70% application. Kitsap County has an 80% application. I believe if you look at that, it brings the sheriff in alignment of where he should be placed based on his overall responsibility, authority, accountability, FTE management, litigation that he has to deal with. But it's also proportionally lower than what the Kitsap County Sheriff is expected to deal with based on his size organization. So I've given you several different examples in the briefing of the relative size of agencies. I've given you the different sizes, and I pulled the information off the most recent information I could get. So if there's an FTE off by a position or two within that analysis, I've got to say that just based on the information that I had available. So this is not absolutely a hard and fast 100%, but those FTEs come and go, and some have changed recently. There are also some included in some other examples on some things, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm asking that in this particular case, that with the sheriff and or the other electeds, which is your choice and the elected choice, is to consider a resolution similar to this and allow for its adoption prior to the budget process being completed, so those elected officials can make the appropriate adjustments to their budgets.
Do you have any questions, comments? I think you were apprised of the fact that there was also some proposals kind of come forward on and discussed on the August 15th briefing. And so my suggestion is that this would be included in as one of the options to be considered when you consider all the local human resources be bringing forward to us on August 15th briefing.
I don't know anything about the particulars of the proposal, only that there was an upcoming brief. That's all I have.
And that was our hope to, and this is something I think is going to be added in into the consideration. The scope of which I don't know, the staff is working on that, and that was what the August 15th briefing would lay out for us, some different options.
Well, I would only just, and then if that's the case, if this would be considered as part of that overall consideration, you know, just a couple of notes is that I believe the State Salary Commission, it's got a set of rules and mandates. It does its analysis, and I believe by doing a resolution similar to Kitsap, it allows for the local variances, local budgetary considerations, local economy to be factored into that variable percentage. But once and for all, I believe, which is right, that you eliminate some of the compression issues that the elected officials have suffered due to a lack of realignment over the past 10 years. And I specifically choose the word realignment versus, percentage increases, COLA alignments, because the commission has done those COLA alignments. I acknowledge that, but we're talking getting that baseline reestablished where it should be. And I believe this is a responsible way to do it. And so I would encourage you to really consider this. And for the most part, it takes away a lot of the built-up animosity and all of these things that are taken. And it actually puts those elected officials as your peers right back on par with where the other boards of county commissioners have treated their elected officials. And I believe it's a reasonable, independent, and it's been time tested by some other agencies, and it seems to be working well for them. And there is if you read the resolution from Kitsap, there's a particular issue that, and I know one of the board's concerns and any elected official's concern is the ability to pay each year and over. And if you look at that resolution, that the Kitsap County elected officials during the recession had that suspended in order to accommodate the needs going forward. And as they came out of this, they reenacted it and reset the percentage. So there is flexibility within that model to do exactly what needs to be done. So that would be my encouragement to you folks, is to try and have this done in whatever way, shape, or form before the budget. That way these things can be addressed and we move forward and put this all behind us. I don't know, is there any opportunity that HR could provide what they're planning on proposing so we can do any comparative analysis prior to?
Don, or Frank? or-
It'll be on the, not at this point in time because it's not completed, but it'll be on the website with the rest of the,
As soon as it's completed, when
Okay.
we'll have.
we're working with Diane and she's on vacation right now. She's helping with that too, so. She had a lot of the information from the salary commission stuff.
Okay, and if this, okay, that's fine, we'll wait for the analysis to be done.
And I think it was the 29th too, sorry, not the 15th.
Not the 15th?
Yeah,
We have another
Okay.
brief, and that's why okay.
if I'm correct, wasn't it the 29th?
I believe so, because we scheduled a briefing for the 15th, and I believe Diane said that the salary brief was at the end of August.
I think so too, yeah.
The 29th. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my apologies, yeah, so it'll be the And if there was something to be done for the 2017 budget, nothing precludes anything. There are, September through December that can be, where these adjustments can be made to the budget requests from the individual departments and offices.
I believe I've indicated that the Washington State Citizens Commission, the new ranges kick in on September 1, and then they go for the next year. So that would, if a decision to be made, apply it. That's what I've mentioned in my briefing.
That,
Apply
you're
it.
saying we need to have
They-
it done by the 1st?
No. I'm saying use the September 1, because that will change on September 1, the state's
Oh, I see what you're
commission's
saying.
new alignment kicks in on September 1.
Okay.
So that would propose, I believe I adopted those numbers off of the September 1 upcoming scale,
Or
4/17.
2017. Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Correct.